Hey, it's James Raby. We have to say something here, but I don't want to say much. Thanks for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show, Radio On Demand podcast. Love you.
Beautiful morning. Good morning. I'm James Raby. It's Y105 FM's Early Morning Show. Am I the jerkhead crap face for having my kids wear tie-dye when with their dad? You are going to love this one so much. Oh, my goodness. I, 30 female, my ex-husband, 31 male, got divorced 5 years ago. During our divorce, we owned an old single-wide mobile home built in 1973 on a large piece of land that is zoned for a trailer park. He wanted a new truck and our savings. I wanted the old trailer and the land. My ex and I have two girls, 8 and 7. Since my divorce, I slowly started buying old single-wides and restoring them, turning it into a business. I love it. My girls go to their dad's and AP's apartment every other weekend. You know what AP is? You're going to love this. Affair partner. So, goes to the affair partner apartment every other weekend. I started noticing their clothes, electronics, toys were not coming home. At first, I thought their dad was just keeping a few outfits for them there, which would be cool. However, my 8-year-old got upset when she was packing. I asked her, "What's wrong, honey?" She told me, "Dad takes her clothes and sells them online. That he doesn't want to take her favorite, so she doesn't want to take her favorite shirt over there." I immediately called my ex. I asked him to return our daughter's clothes. Not wanting to throw my daughter under the bus, I blamed it on them not having enough for school. He played dumb. He said he got rid of the clothes. They were too small. I pointed out that the jeans for our 7-year-old were brand new. He then said, well, it was only fair he got some cash because he owned the trailer and land. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing this good. He's doing the old, well, I didn't do it, and if I did, I deserve the money routine. Oh! Motherless goat. I was PO'd. I took my daughter down to the dollar store and bought cheap shirts, to a thrift store and bought cheap shorts. We had a girls' tie-dye night, hot pink, everything. Each made 5 shirts and 5 bottoms. I let our girls design and decorate them. They loved it. The following week, X sends the girls home. I could tell he is mad, but he didn't say anything. The clothes were not returned. No fear. I knew this would be an issue. We made extras. When the girls went back, they were wearing tie-dye. They were with their dad for an hour before he called and demanded different clothes. I kindly told him our daughters love those clothes, and they really, really do. They really love tie-dye. X even got angrier and said his parents have a major family party and the girls can't wear pink tie-dye. I told him, well, go buy some other clothes if he didn't want them to wear the tie-dye. He called me a jerk for being petty. Am I the jerkhead crap face? By the way, regarding that mobile home, owned is past tense. My ex is not on the land deed or the title of my trailer. Am I the jerkhead crap face? I just love this one so much. It's so obvious the guy is a jerk. Wow. What a jerkhead. He is, not her. What did you have to say? Well, we got to play some music, and we'll get to that here in just about 12 minutes on Y105 FM's Early Morning Show.
Start your 105 FM. It's the only morning show.
Another Rochester business has been victimized by a scammer posing as a member of law enforcement. Good morning, I'm James Raby. This is the Y105 FM Early Morning Show News Minute. Police Captain Casey Molinan said an 18-year-old employee at a business received a call from an individual posing as a detective with the Rochester Police Department last week. The caller reportedly gave the employee a false badge number and case number while telling the worker their boss, who the caller mentioned by name, was in debt. The caller instructed the employee to take over $2,000 from the business and purchase gift cards from Walmart, or the employee and boss would be arrested. See the whole scam and how it's working out on the Y105 FM app. More news you'll find on our app this morning. Rochester man admits to terrorism charge. Olmsted County entering negotiations with Titan for Seneca site, and famed singer's death in Rochester makes international headlines. Y105 FM weather for today. It is going to be just a beautiful day. Holy moly. We got sun, and a high should be around 78. Tonight, partly cloudy, then a slight chance of thunderstorms, and 61. And Thursday, a 40% chance of thunderstorms. High should be 79. I am trusting that 49% chance of thunderstorms is going to disappear because it's the last Thursdays downtown for Cry Eye. Right now, it is 61, and this is Y105 FM's Early Morning Show. You've heard of the music brackets. The Rochester Food Brackets that are happening on Spotted in Rochester. Well, the guy that invented them or is doing them is coming up in less than 10 minutes here on Y105 FM. Early morning show. If you've not yet been to Spotted in Rochester to see the Rochester Food Brackets, you gotta. It's awesome. It's just Rochester restaurants in a bracket. And we get to pick which ones are the best ones, right? Well, that's awesome. And the guy behind it is a guy named Trent Jones. And food is not your full-time job, is it?
No, it is not. But I've always have been, like, I love to, like, rate food. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
and, like,
sure.
What started was me and my wife, like, I always, like, I try to think the top 5 best places I've ate since we've been here in Rochester and stuff like that.
Right.
And so I was like, yeah, let me just see if I can just come up with a bracket. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that Spotted in Rochester has, what if I can post that and see if people will be interested in, like, voting on who they think's the best. And then they just kind of went off from there.
Yeah, well, a lot of people responded. We love towns love their restaurants, right?
Yes, they do. And, like, I'm from a very small town in Kentucky where it's, like, Pizza Hut and 2 Mexicans, and that's all we got. So, yeah. So this is nice to actually have all these places, and, like I said, they're unique to me.
So, you got this very large bracket set up, and some of the matchups don't really make sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That, like I said, I'm trying to tell people, like, I just put it into this bracket generator, all these restaurants, and, like, I could have probably went farther and made, like, different regions of different varieties of, like, maybe bar and grill region or, like, a fine dining region. But then I was like, I don't have that much time, but
well, and this is just a fun thing.
Yeah, it's one of the things, like, I'm just telling people, it's just for fun. It's not like these places are going to close down if they lose.
Right.
It's just to see what you like better. Like, say, Canakukin, do you like their brunch better than you do, like, Pascal's Pizza? Do you think they do their brunch better than you do think Pascal does their pizza? Stuff like that. Or what do you rather eat,
Well, and I think that if you went further to try and make sure it was more balanced, you would just end up with, more work, but also people wouldn't believe that it had been generated by a computer. They'd say, oh, no, you put these together, and those aren't right either. So I figure the way you did it is the best way.
Yeah. Like I said, the seating has nothing to do with, like, the restaurants, and, like, some of them got, like, a first-round buy, which I tried to fix the app or the thing where it wouldn't let me do it. And it just kept putting some ahead. And I'm like, well, whatever. Like I said, it doesn't matter.
That's just it. It really doesn't. It's a fun thing on Spotted on Rochester. And, Trent, we are out of time. We got to get moving on so I can do the 8 a.m. All Music Hour here on Y105 FM's Early Morning Show. But Trent Jones, the guy that is doing the Rochester Food Brackets on Spotted in Rochester, thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning.
Snoring, dry mouth.
Left off this morning in the 7 o'clock hour with Am I the Jerkhead Crapface for having my kids wear tie-dye when with their dad. Hi, it's James Raby on the Y105 FM Early Morning Show. I'm a 30-year-old female. My ex-husband is 31, got divorced 5 years ago. During our divorce, we owned an old single-wide mobile home, 1973 version, on a large piece of land that is zoned for a trailer park. He wanted the new truck and our savings. That's what he got. I wanted the old trailer and the land. That's what I got. My ex and I have 2 girls, 8 and 7. Since my divorce, I slowly started buying old single-wides and restoring them, turning it into a business. I love it. My girls go to their dad's and AP's apartment every other weekend. AP stands for affair partner. I started noticing their clothes, electronics, toys were not coming home. At first, I thought their dad was just keeping a few outfits here for them. However, my 8-year-old got upset when she was packing. I said, what's wrong, baby? She's like, well, Dad takes my stuff and sells it online. I don't want to bring my favorite shirt. So she calls the dad, and the dad says, I'm not doing that. And then a few minutes later, when she says, well, I need the clothes for school. Well, even if I was doing it, he says, I need the money because I still are in my trailer. I can't get money from it. And she's like, you don't own the trailer. That's all mine now. That was settled years ago. So basically, he's saying I didn't do it. And if I did, I'm justified in it. Nothing screams I'm a liar, and my pants are on fire than that. So she took her daughters down to the dollar store, bought some T-shirts, inexpensive kids' T-shirts,
and then went to the thrift shop and bought some shorts. And they went home and had a tie-dye party. And the girls love it. They love tie-dye. It's a blast. They got to design their own clothes, basically. So that's what she sends the kids to Dad's in. And the first time, he didn't say anything, but she could tell he was upset when she picked up the kids. The second time, he's like, hey, I need real clothes on these kids because we got a family party and I can't bring them in tie-dye. And she's like, well, then go buy clothes for them. So that's basically the story. And I think I just love the mom in this. How about you?
Yes, hats off to her. I'm a mom that went through a divorce. 2 girls were off to college and 4 were still at home. She did a great job of playing that father like a fiddle.
Yes.
Without harming her daughters.
Yep.
She made a game for them, and she showed his true colors by letting him step into it. My hat goes off to her. She's a great mom.
Yeah, absolutely. Just so cool. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. On our Facebook page, lots of responses. Renee said, not at all. In fact, you're a hero. I get social services involved with the police for sure. I'm sorry. I'd get social services involved and the police for sure. Go for the jugular. Gavandria says, those poor kids. What a mean dad. Applause for the mom. Tie-dye clothes rock. Amanda said, nope, he is the king of jerks. And jealous of how well you're doing. Yes, he is. Yeah, he thought he could be sly, cheat on her, and end up in a better situation. Crystal says, no, you are not the jerkhead crap face. I can't believe their dad was stealing their clothes to sell. WTF. Exactly. What the flip? Jan Smith says, absolutely not. He should have clothes for them to wear that he buys. You did everything correct. Do not lose sleep over it. I know. Just great. And Jules brings up an interesting point. Wow, that's horrible of the ex, and really a breach of parental trust that will stay with the kids. Yes, I can remember how vividly I loved my favorite outfits as a kid. If I'd gone to stay with a parent and they stole my clothes and then sold them, I would have been so upset, confused, and it would have hurt the relationship that needs trust to thrive. Yeah. You know, and I didn't think about that until, of course, I saw your comment, Jules. It's like, yeah, these kids, there's these big people in their lives called parents, and they love you. They love you unconditionally. And then you steal from them? Boy, I don't care how old you are. That is going to put a real in the relationship. And it might not show early on when they still really, really want you to love them. But later on, it's going to be trouble. So I hope Pop figures it out and gets his poop in a group. Also, is this relationship the epitome of mess around and find out? Yeah, 100%. Kudos, Mom. You're listening to Y105 FM's Early Morning Show. If you want to see the whole thing, it is on the Y105 FM.
Valley is giving away back to
show. It's time to wrap the gig up with the rabies shots. That's Doughheads in the news. A little support of Jennifer Lopez coming up, which I find extremely weird for me to say. The Daily Mail says a British prankster recently pranked an entire airport in Greece. Sam Wilson filmed himself getting on public address system and telling passengers their flights were going to be delayed by 6 hours. That is just bad. That's just, you know what it's like when you're flying. You're a little tense about making sure everything's on time, and you're making it and all that jazz, and then some jerkhead crap face comes along, some doughhead, and says, our flights are 6 hours delayed. Click. That's not a prank. That's just being mean. That's mean, man. And I never imagined a day where I would take Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's side in anything, but whoa. Radar Online says some of Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's friends are upset. They have to travel to Savannah, Georgia for the couple's second wedding. A source tells the website, LA has some of the best hotels and venues in the world. Both Jen and Ben have an amazing multi-million-dollar home where they could have celebrated. But no, instead, everyone is expected to head to Affleck's estate in Riceboro, Georgia for the big bash this weekend. Matt Damon, Jimmy Kimmel, Casey Affleck, they're all millionaires who can afford private planes and the best hotels, but not everyone can. It's so selfish. Talk about last minutes. People have lives and commitments. They can drop everything just because they can't drop everything just because Jen and Ben want them to. Why couldn't they just have done this in L.A.? It would have been so much easier. It's not as if they have chartered a private plane and invited everyone to stay in the house.
Travel and accommodations are expensive. Of course, everyone wants to party with them, but not everyone can afford it or has a schedule where they can just drop everything at the last minute. They don't realize that not everyone lives like them. Holy moly. The audacity. You just return the thing, the RSVP card and say, no, will not be attending. How dare they do it in Georgia? People will travel to L.A. too. How's that for apples, right? And maybe the hotels in L.A. are more expensive than the ones in Georgia. Who knows? Who cares? Oh, I'm so upset that they're doing something they want to do and I am blah, blah, blah. Wow. Wow. Now that is a poopy pants doughhead right there. Whoever it is. Assuming it's real. And I kind of want it to be because I want this rabies shot to stand. It is Y105 FM's Early Morning Show.
Here's what you missed on the early.
Hey, it's James Raby. Thank you so much for listening to the Y105 FM Early Morning Show Radio on Demand podcast. I hope you'll subscribe and tune in Monday through Friday between 6 and 10 for more fun than you can shake a stick at.